Are back with you today for our podcast Les Millionnaires des Diamants. And we start the week, Sylvain and I, you guys know, with our book, Super Communicator. We are getting close to the end. Actually, today we are coming back on subject that we have covered previously because this weekend, Sylvain and I were responsible for a training for our organization. And we have been talking about the how do we feel conversation on how it is important to build deep relationship. You guys remember with deep questions, but also with the looping. And we thought that it was really interesting and important to come back on that subject because this is really probably like the basis of that book and the basis of our job as an network marketer. So it's something really important if you want to build a team, become a leader. So this is really what we want to look at. So it's a special episode about the training that we've uh, like did yesterday with our with the people. So we really want to help you understand like the benefits of like having those hard conversation because in like an MLM business, yes, we sell products, but what is the most important is that we build relationship. So we are going to get through like many different pillars. We're going to talk about deep question, the mood, the energy, the looping, the reciprocity, and how we can adapt. Okay. For conflict when they comes into our conversation. So Sylvain, I'll let you dive with the first subject today.
Yes, so we're gonna start with the deep question. This is what we going to. It's very important to make sure that we can use the deep question with the people that we met. Okay, so first of all, there's a study that they did in 2016 in Harvard, and the researchers analyzed hundreds of conversation, particularly during speed dating. So you let's say you are on the market to find um, significant others, and you have 15 minutes, let's say, to meet a new person. And what happens is the people that they are asking superficial questions. So what are you doing in life? Okay, do you have kids? Okay, so you can answer in 2 3 words. So when the meeting finish, so they analyze that most of the people, they don't want to continue the conversation. They don't want to give their numbers, and okay, they have no interest of continuing that uh, meeting encounter. And those who are using deep question, okay, so they are going to after the conversation is over, the 15 minutes, so they want to continue. So they sometimes they become friends, they go for a dinner. So it doesn't always happen to be a match, but sometimes they become good friends. Okay, so because we ask uh, deep question, so it has a sentiment that you create a connection with the other one. Okay, so concretely how we do it. So there's 3 characteristic on a deep question. So the first one, it's you have to ask about value, you have to ask about belief, experience, not fact. Okay, so if I ask the person, where do you work? So she's going to say, oh, I am a lawyer. Okay. In which firm? Oh, I work in Montreal in a big firm. Oh, okay. For how long? So, okay, 3 questions in 1 minute. So, we can do better. So, with deep questions, you're going to ask, let's say, what do you love about your work? Oh, I don't know what she's doing. Okay. So she was going to tell me where she works. Okay. How long. And she's going to maybe relate some story. Okay. She's going to say some story that she had, and why she is passionate about her job. And maybe so you understand that the deep questions, I'm going to have more information, and that way I can connect with her, because maybe I'm going to find similarities. Okay, oh yes, me too, I love to golf. Okay, so you understand that it's create connectivity. Uh, if I have a new consultant, instead of asking how long have you been selling, okay, so I could ask what made you want to get started. So that way, I'm gonna learn more about her. How was your day? Hmm, good, bad. Okay, simple, factual question. We transfer it in deep questions. So, what made you most proud today? Oh, okay. So she's gonna talk about something else. How are you? Replace it with what's the hardest things for you right now? Okay. So the trick is to ask questions before speaking, and thinking about, okay, I am a close friend with him. So what kind of question would I ask her? Okay. So this is the first characteristic. The second one is ask how they feel. Okay. How do you feel about something? Okay, how do you feel about your work? How do you feel about your neighborhood? So I don't know where she live, I don't ask which city, but how do you feel about your neighborhood? So she's gonna say, okay, I live at that place, I love this. I have a pool, so I love to train there. So I'm going to learn more about them. And the third one, it's you are going to share something about yourself. So when you ask a deep questions, it's like you are sharing with other one. Okay, so she's gonna share something very personal, and in return, probably because she was honest, she was more open, so you're gonna do the same. So it create a connectivity together, and it's going to create a good moment that you are sharing with other one.
So let's move to the second pillar. It is about like mood and energy. So we're going to look at what both of this word mean and how we can use them like to create that first step, let's say, into the relationship when you're meeting somebody. So the author explained that our brain has developed a simple system to evaluate others. So we're using the mood and the energy to induce like what is the emotion that the person in front of us is living. So like we will say, oh, they're angry, they're frustrated, they're sad, they're anxious. So we are going to say like that about, oh, it's a fact. But actually, it's really hard for us, for the brain, to really how can I say that, to really say, oh, that is for sure 100% the emotion that you're having. So what is happening is that sometimes we put a tag on somebody of, oh, he's angry because he has like frown brows, but actually he just may be focused. So what the author is telling us is we need to take a step back. So instead of inducing and say with 100%, here it's the emotion you're having, well, it's actually impossible to be sure at 100%. Use the mood and the energy. So mood is about positivity and negativity. So do you feel that the person is positive right now or that the person is negative? And the energy is about high or low energy. Okay. So when you combine both, okay, it's kind of a matrix. So you can have a good mood, so a positive mood, and a high energy. But it's also possible to have a positive mood and low energy. There is no one that is better than the other. And it's the same for the negative. So you can have a negative energy with a high energy. So if you see somebody like yelling, this is like negative and like high energy, but it can also be low. So if you see somebody that is laughing like joyfully, obviously you will say, oh, the mood is positive and the energy is high. Okay. So, yes, I can say they're happy, okay? But instead, I will use those two elements to kind of judge the situation just to help me understand, okay, how can I adapt myself to that person? So, if the energy is high and the mood is positive, obviously I'm going to match the energy. So, when I'm about to talk or start a conversation, I'm going to match that positivity and that high energy. But on the contrary, if I have somebody that I feel is very negative at the moment, but high energy, like he's yelling, like he feels angry. I won't say he's angry, he feels angry. This is what I'm looking at. Obviously, I won't match that energy, okay? Because I don't want to like go spiraling down and like feeling mad myself or angry myself, okay? But what it is important is when somebody is having those type of energy, we have the tendency to ignore it. And sometimes when you ignore, but people don't like it because they don't feel understood. Here, what you have to do is what we call acknowledge the emotion. We say, well, I'm looking at you and I feel you're angry. Just that, okay, is what we call a kind of reciprocity. So let's give Sylvain an example like to our people. Okay, so imagine a consultant in a meeting, like they have their arm crossed, they're silent, they're looking at the floor, their mood like feel negative, and even their energy is well, very low. Okay, so what will be my reflex? Okay, so if I'm not careful, I can be like her, which is sit down, cross my arms, and even like slow down. But it's a mistake. Okay, so instead I need to acknowledge, okay, like the state that they are in, to create that safe space to say I'm seeing something. So yes, obviously I will sit to them, but I will start to chat with them and say I sense you a bit like not feeling well today. Is everything okay? Okay, so if like it's an angry customer, obviously I won't necessarily sit down with them. Like like you have to adapt to the situation. You have to adapt to who's you're meeting. It's different from your team, your team to the customer. So if like their mood is negative, their energy is very high, and like they start screaming at me, obviously I won't like scream back at them, even if sometime I want to do that. Okay, so I won't do it. Okay, but I mustn't get angry like with that person. So I need to acknowledge the emotion. So I understand that you're upset about the situation right now, maybe about the products broke, or like something that wasn't like to their expectation. So I'll do my best to explain what's going on. So, and on the other side, if somebody is really excited, like I do remember when I got into like home party, so like they have positive energy, obviously I will get to that energy also. Okay, so we just need like yes to temper, okay, like the way that we get in touch with people. And if they are on the negative side, you won't necessarily match the energy, but by acknowledging, okay, what they are living, this help you, okay, get most on the same level and take action about it.
I love it. So now we're going to talk about the looping for understanding. So this is a pillar that it's a technique that when you use the looping, you are proving that you are really listening the other person. Remember, we talk about the gun control. So some people are for gun control, some are against, and decide to reunite them, and they say we would love to have a conversation, but for having that conversation, it's going to be impossible if we don't show them technique. And that was the technique then they employ they use to to make sure that they are going to discuss. So what happens, and when they use the looping, so they were able to understand the point of view of the other person, listen why they are pro gun or against, and that brings more humanity. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we can use it. But that study that they did in 2018 show that when someone proved that they are listening, it creates a sense of psychological safety. The other person that you prove that you listening become more confident and more willing to express their vulnerability, because you are showing that you are there to listen to them. So the problem is when we are listening, the other one doesn't know if we are listening. Even if I said even if I with my head, so I give her some feedback, but she doesn't know, the person doesn't know if you really heard the words and the meaning. Okay, so how you can prove it? It's um, on taking what she said and looping. Okay, so it's three steps. It's easy. Okay, so first of all, it's ask clarifying questions. So let's say she's talking, so you are going to ask question to make sure that you really understand what's really happening. Okay, number two, you are going to summarize in your own words. So if I understand correctly, okay, you are frustrated because, okay, and you repeat what she said. And number three, you ask for confirmation. Did I get that right? And now she is going to say, oh, maybe yes, this is what I said. Okay, perfect. And then you're going to move. So Jean-Philippe is going to continue in a couple of minutes, but we would love to give you example because just to show you. So we're going to do a simulation. You want to play with me, Jean-Philippe? Okay. So you are a consultant, okay? And you didn't have a great month. Okay, so can you explain what happened?
Okay, so yeah, I'm disappointed. Like I didn't recruit anyone last month, so I kind of feel useless, and I don't think that I have my place here, like in that business.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, Jean-Philippe, you are disappointed because your results are not what you were expecting, and you start doubting your ability to succeed in that business. Did I get that right?
Yes, 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 exactly.
Okay, so he said yes. So now we are going to continue the conversation. So Jean-Philippe is going to say what we are going to do, but let's do another one. Okay, we're going to play because sometimes he's not going to say yes. Okay, sometimes he has to clarify and we have to listen and confirm it again. So sometimes we're going to do one, okay, asking question, number two, rephrase it, and number three, asking for confirmation, and he say no. So you're gonna listen, you're gonna ask question, clarify, then rephrase it and ask for confirmation. So now that we're gonna do the simulation. So the I ask Jean-Philippe to prepare a testimonial because he had an amazing month, and I want him to share with the audience of my meeting. So what he did to inspire him. But you know what? Time was up, and I say, oh no, I cannot ask him to do like a 5 or 10 minute testimonial because it's gonna make so much time. So I skip it. Okay, so we're gonna do the simulation, Jean-Philippe.
Yes.
So I see that you are not like usual. Okay, so you seems that you are disengaged. You I see that you something's in your. I see something, and I don't know what is happening, Jean-Philippe.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed because I prepared a testimonial that you asked me to share during the meeting about like sharing my key of success, and you didn't give me the chance like to do it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. If I understand correctly, you're upset that you didn't get to share your testimonial because you were shining last month and you didn't have the time to, inspire others. Did I get that right?
Yeah, but like it's more than that. It's just that I've really take time. I reflect on what are the tips, the tricks that I can bring to the people, and like I don't feel that I had the chance like to really bring them like the essence of like what were my key my success key last month.
Okay. So, if I understand correctly, you are disappointed because we didn't like you the time to shine, to inspire other people, and I didn't have the time to recognize your work you put in. So, did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, so now we can move on. And Jean Philippe is going to explain what's happening after that.
Yes, exactly. Because once you get to that point of, yes, I get that right. Okay, what's the next step? How do we continue the conversation? Because we now understand what is the emotion they're feeling. Okay, we don't like necessarily um, go directly to what are the concrete action for your business. There is a step before just to be sure that you acknowledge right the emotion and that you can move on and like go over that. So there is four tools, okay, that you can use, okay, to create what we call the emotional reciprocity. So the first one that we've just covered is the looping. Okay, so it's really to reformulate in your own word. The way that you can continue the conversation is identify what are their needs, and not their needs in their business. What is their need in the situation about the emotion and the hard conversation that you're having right now? Okay. So somebody that is mad, somebody that is disappointed, somebody that is discouraged. So what are their needs? So what ask them, what do you want me to do? Like, do you need comfort? Do you need empathy? Do you need an advice? Do you need like a firm like but kind approach? So how do you want me to act right now, understanding what you just told me? So it's really about be sure that you will continue acting in a way that the person agree that will feel what she needs at the moment. So the need is about how you will act with them. So this is an option of how you can react following the looping, the looping element. The other tools is what we call ask for permission, because sometimes as leader we tend to jump too fast, okay, on the solution side or to share something about a situation that is similar that can help them. But sometimes as the need, they just need to be heard. So ask them, can I share with you an experience a bit similar to what you had, just to like give you some thoughts about it? And sometimes the answer will be no. And that's fine. It's just that they're not ready and they just wanted to feel heard, and that will they will feel okay with that. And when they say yes, when you share that, okay, don't make it about you. Just be sure that you stay oriented about like how you can transpose what you've experienced in your past that can adapt to their situation. So ask them. And finally, another way to like create reciprocity, okay, after the looping is by giving back. What I mean by that is just to say, like, it made me sad to hear you suffering, or thank you for sharing that with me. I appreciate your confidence. Like, know that I'm always there if there's something. Like, I can be your here, like, for just that moment. So it's a way that you can show, okay, that that reciprocity, and it's more nuanced. It's not just to say, oh, you live that, I live something similar. No, it's really about like letting those emotion, like how can we acknowledge them, how can we work around it, and then after how can we move to like the next step of our meeting. So Sylvain, I'll let you close the podcast for today.
All right. So we are we talk about today the four pillars. So we ask deep questions. Number two, we observe the mood and energy of the people. Number three, we do looping, and number four, we reciprocate vulnerability. So this week, make sure that you are going at least use a deep question with your people. So when you ask question, so think about, oh no, that was a factual question. Okay, how can I rephrase that in a deep questions? Observe the mood and energy of the people that you meet, and use looping at least one time in a difficult conversation. So we are going to continue. So for the next podcast.